1,000 Pound Sisters Season 7 recently premiered, and Brittany talked about wanting to have bariatric surgery. Inspired by the rest of the Sladen siblings, it seems that Brittany is finally ready to go on her own weight loss journey. The show is mostly about the weight loss journeys of Amy Sladen and Tammy Sladen, but several of their siblings appear on the show as well. Their brother, Chris Combs, is married to Brittany, and they've both become fan favorites over the years. All 5 Sladen siblings have had bariatric surgery since the series premiered in 2020, and it's Brittany's turn. Brittany has been on the unscripted show since its debut. She and her husband, Chris, are expected to get more screen time than ever during 1,000 Pound Sisters Season 7. Over the years, as her famous in-laws lost significant amounts of weight, Brittany quietly pursued her own health and fitness goals. She's also been around for all the Slatens' big life events, so she's a crucial part of the unscripted series. Read on to learn more about Brittany and the real reason she's so determined to have bariatric surgery. Now she's ready to go on her own weight loss journey. Brittany wants a baby reminiscent of Amy Sladen's weight loss journey. During the premiere episode of 1,000 Pound Sisters Season 7, a tearful Brittany talked about her difficulty having children. She says she always wanted to be a mother, but she hasn't been able to make it happen. She thinks it's her weight that's holding her back from making her dreams of motherhood come true. She tells her husband that she wants to have bariatric surgery so that she can finally be healthy enough to have a baby. Though she feels like she's a mother to Chris's children from his first marriage, she always wanted to have one of her own. Brittany's desire to lose weight so she could have a baby is reminiscent of how Amy Sladen's weight loss journey began. When Sister Wives premiered in 2020, Amy weighed over 400 pounds. Desperate to have children, she had bariatric surgery and quickly lost 125 pounds. She was able to make her dreams of motherhood come true. Though her doctors asked her not to get pregnant too soon after surgery, Amy disregarded them. She went on to give birth to 2 healthy boys, Gage and Glenn Halterman. Brittany hopes to travel down a similar path. Chris is much older than Brittany. He has grandchildren from his first marriage. While most of the Sladen siblings have been profoundly unlucky in love, Chris and Brittany appear to be very happy together, despite the large age gap. At 44 years of age, Chris is older than the 36-year-old Brittany. Like many Americans, Brittany met her husband, Chris, at work. They were both managers at McDonald's, which is interesting due to the fact that Chris has lived with obesity all his life. They've been married since 2016, and their marriage appears to be very loving. Which is why Chris wants Brittany to have the baby she wants. This is the best journey that I've ever decided to take and stick with. Though Chris and Brittany's age gap hasn't gotten in the way of their happy marriage. It may prove to be a problem when it comes to having a baby. At 44 years of age, Chris may feel like he's starting all over again. He already has 2 grown children, and he even has 3 grandchildren. During the premiere episode of 1,000 Pound Sisters Season 7, Chris pointed out that his baby would be younger than his grandchildren. Despite it all, Chris loves his wife and wants to give her the baby she wants. Chris wants more surgery too, icing on his weight loss journey's cake. Brittany isn't the only member of the family who wants surgery soon. Chris had skin removal surgery during 1,000 Pound Sisters Season 6. While lying in his hospital bed post-surgery, Chris says, "This is the best journey that I've ever decided to take and stick with." Chris was eager to keep up with his grandchildren. Post's caption reads, "Chris's skin removal is the icing on his weight loss journey's cake. He looked like a new man as he left the hospital after his procedure alongside Brittany." I've got a nice flat stomach, and some old man saggy TS. Chris loves the results of his surgery so much that he wants more. As he told Brittany, I've still got some areas of opportunity. The 1,000-pound Sisters star went on to say, I've got a nice flat stomach, and some old man saggy TS. Chris is thrilled with how much better he looks. But he's already thinking about having the excess skin around his chest removed. Chris told Brittany he was tired of having larger breasts than most women. Brittany asked if they could afford to have 2 surgeries in the same year, and Chris said they'd figure it out. Chris and Brittany are getting more screen time this season. Brittany is even butting heads with Tammy. With both Chris and Brittany pursuing major weight loss journeys and maybe even having a baby, it's clear that the couple will get more screen time during 1,000-Pound Sisters Season 7. On top of their weight loss journeys, Brittany has also been butting heads with Tammy since she moved in next door to the couple. It remains to be seen if Tammy and Brittany will be able to get along moving forward. Tammy should watch out because Chris won't let her strain his marriage. 1,000-Pound Sisters, what's keeping Brittany from joining the Slatton family's weight loss journey? 1,000-Pound Sisters premiered in 2020 and followed Amy and Tammy Slatton's grueling yet heartwarming weight loss journey. Starting from their respective weight loss surgeries, the show has chronicled all of their ups and downs. Over the years, the sisters have come pretty far. But as much as the show has focused on their individual transformations, it's also evolved into something more expansive that now centers around the broader Slatton family dynamics. Amy and Tammy's brother, Chris Combs, has always been an important part of the show. Not only was he their biggest supporter, but the show also saw him taking charge of his own weight loss. It's safe to say that fans were equally invested in Chris's story as he broke out of the cycle of obesity that plagued his family. While Chris's wife Brittany has never been a focal point of the show, she's always standing by her husband's side and cheering him on. Not to mention that she has often opened up about her own struggles with weight loss and even admitted that she'd like to undergo the surgery too. But her approach is a little more private compared to the rest of the clan. Is Brittany Combs silently resentful toward her family? Brittany has been an important part of Chris's weight loss journey. The two of them met while working at McDonald's and immediately took a liking to each other. Despite their 8-year age difference, Chris and Brittany have emerged as one of the most authentic and relatable reality TV couples. Unlike Chris's 4 extremely opinionated sisters, Brittany is generally quite agreeable and soft-spoken, which might be why she sometimes feels like the odd one out. While Chris never backs down from showcasing the good and the bad of his dynamic with his family, it has always felt like Brittany holds herself back and is much more reserved in her interactions with her in-laws. The truth is that the codependency between Chris and his sisters can't be ignored. While it's true that Chris needs to support Amy and Tammy with their weight loss, he sometimes neglects Brittany in the process. For instance, during 1,000-Pound Sisters Season 6, Tammy had a huge fight with her sister, Amanda Halterman. This led to Tammy moving out of Halterman's house and essentially being homeless. That's when Chris came to her rescue and offered her the place that he and Brittany had bought to turn it into an investment property. Of course, that did not sit well with Brittany, especially since every time Tammy had lived with other family members, things had gone south. However, Chris disregarded all his wife's concerns, and because Amanda is generally a non-confrontational person, she dropped it too. But how long can it be before all her pent-up emotions surface? She deserves to be the main character in her story. The Slatton family is known and loved for their loud, outspoken and brash nature. They are constantly getting into arguments and then getting along with each other the very next minute. But it's obvious that Brittany is the exact opposite of that. It's just how things work in their household. Joining Sladen's weight loss journey means interacting with them on a regular basis, and maybe Brittany isn't ready for that just yet. Not to mention that she doesn't need to be dragged into all of their drama while she tries to get her health back on track. Not to mention that she grew up in the Pentecostal church and is extremely devout. Brittany lives a simple and traditional life, and her personality doesn't really translate well on TV. There's no denying that the audience loves little moments on the show that shed light on her relationship with Chris and how they motivate each other to stay healthy. Compared to the Slatons, it just falls flat in terms of entertainment value. If Brittany really wants to embark on her own weight loss journey, maybe she and Chris would be better off with their own spin-off. The show can have its own tone and style, rather than fitting into a dynamic that Brittany is clearly uncomfortable with. The pressure of documenting your life on reality TV, while Brittany was mostly quiet and was nothing more than a side character during the show's earlier seasons. Not only was she vocal about her desire to get healthier, but Chris was also seen gifting her a gym membership to give her the motivation she needed. She really started to come into her own in season 6. However, losing weight is tough enough as it is, and having to do it with millions watching is all the more nerve-wracking. If Brittany decides to keep her weight loss journey private, she can't be blamed for wanting to escape all the scrutiny.